Hey guys, welcome back. So hope you had a great week. So last week we kind of broke below the 5,000 level, but all we did is we came back down to support and we pushed off to the top of the channel to progress in this wave 5. So I personally, again, I still do think that, we're almost done with this wave 3. And you can see that this is another wave 4. One little more push, let's say to the top of the channel before we actually come down for that wave 4. This would be the main scenario that I am watching, unless again, this push either it pushes or it's just gonna make a lower high and then sell off. Ideally, you would like for this channel to break at 5,000 before you can have any 200, 300 point short lower.
This short clip is presented by Community. Fast track your learning curve and profit with our Leduc Trading Discord community. It is ideal for beginners who love the chase. Community provides access to not only Samantha's daily market thoughts and chase trades, but also her fabulous team of live stage mentors who share their actual trades and risk management stops across equities, options, and futures. You also get access to custom trade support when you need it. For more information, visit www.leductrading.com/community.
But something else I do want to point out is we could have a scenario wherein this is our wave 1, our wave 2. We're still, kind of in the wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 before it comes. So this is if we're in a super extended bullish scenario, that means that we're again wave 3s are bullish in general, regardless of what wave you're in. So, it would not surprise if we do, if this is a 1-2 and we continue higher. Again, for that, as long as we go to the 4-hour chart and see that, I would say as long as, let's put this is the level of breakout, right? As long as we stay over 5065, you stay over 5065. That means maybe a little bit of weakness, right? But as long as you stay above 5065, it will look something like this. So this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, this would be your 1, 2, 3, 4, and your 5 goes there. So I think you got the basic premise. So this would be a 1, 2, still another wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and boom, you kind of have that lower this thing. So this again, only if we're in super bullish scenario, and that would again depend kind of on the dollar. If the dollar, you can see here, this is the level of interest that I've mentioned. So if the dollar starts to break, let's say 103.6, then we could be in the super bullish scenario. But if the dollar just, kind of makes a higher low and bounces, that means this path that I've laid out, wherein we kind of just NQES, kind of the same thing. We kind of just do this, right? This path I laid out will only be possible if the dollar makes a higher low and bounces. If we start to break down and we're approaching 103, then it's very likely we, continue its bullish bend, follow this red path before we come down. So yeah, that's why levels are super important. VIX also will give clues. This again, a little bit of weakness and then a bounce can be possible if market starts to sell and volatility creeps in. Otherwise, again, this is the level of interest on VIX. We break below, let's say 13.5, that is bullish the market, and we're very likely going to be in the extended scenario where we above side 5090, we push to like 5150 and 5170. So that's why levels are super important, and that's why, right, whatever I discuss in this week's watch list will again be dependent on whether we break down from the 5065 level. We break that, then meta should continue right below 480, come down to 465. And this time, actually, right, last time we just came down to the bottom of the channel and bounced. This time we actually break down and, come test, let's say 440, 430. So still looking for that. It is still possible that we're not done. I could still see one more, a little more push, maybe test 500, right? Psychological number before it rejects. But yeah, below 480, I am definitely looking for weakness on meta. It is getting extended, but yeah, I would not really short till I start to see, some dollar and Wix levels start to hold, because over 482, I told you, it is very possible for us to test 500 again on meta. So you can't short it too early on meta. So yeah, that's what I have for Meta. The next one I have is Carvana. So I've discussed this in our, our normal daily sessions, and you can see that we did gap up over our 61 level, but we rejected. We went up and we rejected the next fib level, which is normal, right? It had a very extended move. So now, for me personally, as long as we hold, right, we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see that if this is gonna be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as I'd say we hold, let's say 60, 68 to 66, we hold 68 to 66, I think, right, Carvana can definitely push up to $90. And that's kind of why I have it on this week's watch list is if we start to break over 70 again, we could definitely make that next move higher. So that's why I have Carvana calls on this week's watch list. And again, must hold over 65 to 66. If it does, we can continue pushing higher. And you can also see this is kind of the channel. Law of the channel dictates that it follows this path higher. So it looks good for now, but it could completely fail if he doesn't hold this gap up. This is, valid only if Carvana is to go ahead and hold its gap up in the market. So the next one I have this week's watch list is Enphase again. This is because failing, you can see this is a level of support, and this was the previous level of resistance that we rejected. So if we do, right, we do break this 118 level here, you can see that it does have a massive unfilled gap here as weakness. Below 118, I can definitely see 115 and break of 115. We come down to 110, and we eventually fill this gap. So yeah, I do think this gap is a weakness on Enphase. So we have some weakness. This definitely will be a prime short in the market. So yeah, that's what I have Enphase puts on the 6 watch list. And last but not the least, I have coin. And again, this is, dependent on whether we stay over 160. If we can hold over 160, I don't think this is done. This is our 1-2. We're still in a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So as long as we hold over 158, 160, we should be able to push up coin over 165, can go up to 173 and maybe even 180, even if we're sideways. But yeah, if we start to break this level at 159, same as Enphase, we do have a gap to fill at 138. So, I mean, it is at the top of the channel. So I won't be surprised if we come back to the bottom again. So I got to be careful about that as well. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to Leduc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly Wavelist videos and other content.